Good day, New Brighton community. My name is Kari Niedfeldt-Thomas, and I currently serve as the mayor of New Brighton. Most people call me Mayor Kari NT. I have loved working with our residents and businesses over the last 4 years as mayor and for many years as a community volunteer. New Brighton has embraced me as its mayor, and I am honored to serve you. I am running for office of mayor again because I have made a difference for our city and I want to continue building community together. Although I am running unopposed this election, I am absolutely still running a campaign. It is critical for our community members to head to the polls and vote for a positive, professional, and purposeful council slate. We must be future-focused and deliver results. New Brighton has benefited from my leadership as mayor in providing authentic leadership, shining a light on solutions, and committing my energy to our city. Transparency. As mayor, I have been successful at increasing transparency for decisions we are considering and decisions made. I have ensured that the city asks for feedback, communicates its strategies, and creates action plans on topics such as corridor visioning, new parks designs, mixed-use development concepts, and the now approved Climate Action Plan. We have increased our social media posts to keep you up to date. We started an annual State of the City video so you know our accomplishments. We now have an infographic and digital report on priorities we have achieved on our multi-year and annual strategic initiatives. After every city council meeting, we send an e-update. We have a business community e-newsletter. People sign up for these to stay in the know. Our new public GIS map shows city data to anyone. I have focused on making the city accessible, visible, and transparent. Community. Over the past 2 decades, demographic changes have added both value and complexity in New Brighton. This council prioritized the formation of our Equity Commission in 2021. The recent census confirmed in data the importance of the work started, creating a welcoming, inclusive community and municipal government that supports and celebrates New Brighton's diverse community, which is an opportunity that the city must get right. As mayor, I listen and act to embrace race and class realities with meaningful engagement and analysis of solutions. I have had residents tell me that the work we are leading is visible, they feel seen, they are heard, and they know they belong. From community events that bring us together, to policies that ask who is adversely being impacted, we are leading as our community wants and needs us to. Housing. As mayor, I understand thriving cities need a variety of housing to support residents at all stages of life and all income levels. New Brighton's housing needs have been positively enhanced by our council completing our first housing study. We have measured affordability levels and the volume of housing options to understand the best policy solutions. We are assessing various policy ideas to facilitate setting goals. I advocate for all residents, including single-family homeowners and renters. We create a short-term rental ordinance to increase community safety. We expanded rental housing inspections beyond multifamily housing to include all rentals of single-family homes and duplexes to increase safety. We ensured the city's mobile home parks are protected in zoning code. As mayor, I must ask the right questions and seek solutions that benefit everyone. I have brought to the mayor role the same authentic leadership skills that have made me a successful professional and volunteer. Relationship building, results-driven, perseverance, intellectual curiosity, and optimism. We have brought the temperature down in our city. Our council has been positive, professional, and purposeful. We have listened to and honored residents and business ideas, questions, and concerns. I have advocated for creative solutions to solve the every city problem in unique New Brighton ways. New Brighton wants a mayor and city council members who move us forward. As New Brighton's mayor, I have shined a light on a vision and brought my energy. We have a lot of work to do, so let's get to work. I encourage you to join my campaign so New Brighton will continue to have local, authentic leadership. Please visit votekarint.com and join me in building community together. Thank you.
When one runs for office, people ask, why are you running? What issues will you address? And what makes you the best candidate? Most candidates respond with lofty platitudes that are short on specifics. I believe that voters need to make their decision based on specifics regarding a candidate's integrity, good judgment, knowledge, and openness. I currently work for a global corporation, have experience in portfolio management, was a small business owner in New Brighton, and a former council member. I have the knowledge, ability, and understanding of the operation of our city and budget that will give me the ability to hit the ground running if elected. When I ran for council for the first time in 2005, the dominant and most consequential issue for New Brighton was eminent domain. At that time, the mayor and existing council were pursuing a controversial plan to redevelop the area north of 694 on Old Highway 8, known at the time as the Northwest Quadrant. City government was aggressively using eminent domain to shutter businesses located there to acquire land for redevelopment. The mayor and council felt justified implementing their vision without real concern for the businesses in the area and the livelihood of their employees. Many years later, there are still lingering financial and legal consequences resulting from the decisions. The area now called the Exchange is still not fully developed. I was elected to the council largely on opposition to eminent domain and went on to serve 3 terms from 2006 to 2018, where some of my colleagues and I implemented significant reforms on the use of eminent domain by city government. One can Google New Brighton Northwest Quadrant redevelopment to get a feel of what was going on at the time and see how it still affects our city. My main reason for running now is that I have observed that the current mayor and council's actions over the last 6 years are increasingly driven by a singular ideology-based agenda that has potentially adverse outcomes for the people of New Brighton, similar to what was happening at the time I ran first. Specific examples include Midtown Project and the misguided rezoning to mixed use on Silver Lake Road north of 694. These actions greatly increase the possibility of even more multifamily housing, which will likely take priority or displace the businesses and commercial properties currently located there. There are also public safety and financial consequences that have not been addressed. My campaign will be one of getting back to the basics of the mission of city government. It will address and create public awareness and emphasize the return to core issues, budgeting, taxes and levies, public safety, and improvement of maintenance and streets, parks, and infrastructure. The New Brighton city budget is inflating at a rate of approximately $1 million a year because of overspending of your tax dollars on unnecessary projects and programs. Over the last few years, city government has repeatedly raised your property taxes with continuous levy increases of 9 to 10%. There are also increasing franchise taxes hidden in your utility bills. And also, let us not forget the council's imposition of the citywide 25-mile-an-hour speed limit with very little, if any, call for it from the people or explanation of why it's needed. I understand and are also experiencing the struggles many residents have paying their bills, taxes, and everyday necessities. As a council member, I will advocate a reassessment of how your tax dollars are being spent using zero-based budgeting. This approach will constantly review what city expenditures are needed or no longer needed and make changes accordingly with each new budget, rather than the current practice of carrying over pretty much all expenditures with an automatic increase. I will also encourage and listen to the input of the people concerning these matters. My past service as a council member addressed these issues with unwavering commitment to and respect of the residents of our city. I will once again take the same approach. Having a single ideology-driven mayor and council does not promote full disclosure, objectivity, or service to the residents of the betterment of our city's future. I am proud of my prior record as a council member, where I was an effective voice for the people to keep our city safe and thriving. Now is a time to take a stand in these challenging times and vote for a council member who values the safety, services, and the needed fiscal responsibility to represent the residents of New Brighton. I am that candidate, and I respectfully ask for your support and vote Gina Bauman for New Brighton City Council on or before November 5th. Please feel free to reach out to me at ginaforcouncil@comcast.net or on Facebook at Gina Bauman for Council. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jeanne Vint Frischman, and I'm running for New Brighton City Council. I live in New Brighton with my husband Jay, a hydrogeologist for the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources, and our Labrador Retriever Juno. I'm proud of Jay, who will soon celebrate 20 years as a volunteer firefighter for the city of New Brighton. We are both proud parents of 2 adults, Jamie and Joe. Our kids attended Bel Air, Highview, and Irondale. Jamie's a North Dakota State University graduate with a degree in engineering and is a member of the North Dakota Army National Guard. Joe is presently a senior at Montana State University in Bozeman. Finally, I am a product of the Mounds View School District myself, having attended Bel Air, Highview, and Irondale. Jay and I met at the University of Minnesota, both of us graduating with Bachelor of Science degrees. We've been married 30 years. My professional career is in real estate. I've been a real estate agent with Edina Realty, focusing locally on the Mounds View School District geography for almost 30 years. In my spare time, I volunteered extensively within the New Brighton community and for the Mounds View School District. I'm an avid snowboarder, and I volunteer as a ski patrol at Wild Mountain. As a family, we enjoy hiking, hunting, skiing, snowboarding, and traveling. I am speaking to you today to ask for your support and your vote. When you think of Jeanne Vint Frischman, I want you to think of 3 things: experience, dedication, and commitment. Raised in New Brighton, I moved away from my career and then returned to raise my own family and invest in this community. For more than 20 years, I have been committed to New Brighton by serving on city commissions and active as a community volunteer. I've seen what excellent leadership looks like for our community, and I want to provide that as a new city council member. I know the history of New Brighton as I have lived it. I am thrilled about the future and the direction New Brighton is headed. We have a great community, great neighbors, and a great future ahead of us. I want to be part of creating New Brighton's vision with the great people who now live here and those who will join our community in the near future. I have a long history of volunteering and service-based activities in the New Brighton community. I served and chaired 13 years on the New Brighton Parks and Recreation Commission. I served and chaired 8 years on the New Brighton Planning Commission. I served on the Public Schools District Facilities Bond Vote Yes Committee. I was the spokesperson for the Mounds View Public Schools Neighbors United Committee. And I spent more years than I can count on numerous Mounds View Public Schools District Booster Clubs, specifically football and lacrosse. I participated at many levels in the Bel Air and Elementary School PTA. I volunteered in many local Mounds View Public School classrooms. I am a real estate agent professionally, and I have worked locally for almost 30 years. I'm a ski patrol, a snowboard instructor, and an outdoor emergency care instructor at Wild Mountain. Experience, dedication, and commitment. As your city council member, I would approach leadership with the posture of listening to understand, listening to members of the community, and listening to my colleagues, just as I have done during my service on New Brighton City Commissions for the past 20 years. My top 3 priorities when I am elected: number 1, understand, support, and communicate the short and long-term local housing challenges and help to create city policy, goals, and vision. Number 2, engage and encourage a strong and growing business community. Number 3, enthusiastically partner with our schools, public safety, and community organizations. New Brighton is a terrific community. As a resident and a realtor, I see firsthand how many people move here and stay 20, 30, even 50 plus years. We are happy in New Brighton. We have an award-winning school district, quiet neighborhoods, and safe parks. I want to continue that positive vibe. New Brighton has benefited from a long history with a well-respected and effective public safety department. Our residents and businesses regard the police and firefighters as high value. We need to continue to support these assets through effective hiring, training, retention, and support of those who serve us on a daily basis. A safe community is a thriving community. New Brighton does this well. A strong public safety department will continue to be a priority for me. My goal today is to introduce myself, share my history, and my interest in being your city council representative. I ask for your support and I need your vote. Please feel free to visit my website at votefrischman.com or stop me in the community and ask questions. Lawn signs and donation tabs are also available on my website.
Hello, New Brighton. I'm Jason Steffenhagen, and I'm running for City Council. So often in politics or on social media Or when talking about the football season, people are defined by what they are against. I get it. It's easy to be against something. I want you to know what I'm for. I'm a husband to my wife, Michelle, and dad to my 2 boys, ages 14 and 9. I'm also a local pastor at a Methodist church in North Oaks. I'm for listening. As a pastor, the best gift I can often give the people in my community is the willingness to listen and hear their story. People need to be seen, and they want to be understood. That all starts with listening. Each of us has a unique story and engages our city differently. I want to hear your story and understand how New Brighton can work for you. I'm for learning. I worked in higher education for 16 years, the last 6 at Bethel University just down the road. My goal with students wasn't to simply help them pass a test or blindly trust my teaching, but instead I challenged them to think critically and wrestle with complex topics. This type of learning has served me as a person. I don't have all the answers, and I'm not scared to say I don't know, because I'm confident that by accepting the challenges ahead and thinking critically, we can find a path towards an even brighter horizon. I'm for action. My dad was my baseball coach for most of my life. Now I get to coach my kids' sports. There's a time to listen, a time to learn, sometimes a time to goof off, and then there's a time to get in the game and take action. New Brighton is a great city, and together we can continue to make it a great place to raise a family, start a business, go for a walk, and meet your neighbors. Supporting our fantastic public safety department is one of my top priorities. Creating a safe New Brighton requires attention to the details of policy and making sure our officers have the resources and training needed to keep our diverse community safe. We have work to do, addressing housing, encouraging business and economic growth, maintaining financial stability, treating people with equity and respect. I've been on the Equity Commission since it began a few years ago. I've seen how our city works, and I've seen the thoughtfulness and care of the people who work for you. I want to continue being for you. Like I said, it's easy to be against something, and when it comes to our favorite football team, it's fun to root against our rival. On social media, there's a little dopamine hit when we see a mean meme that targets our political rival. Being against something doesn't ask much of us. I want you to know what I'm for, because I think you and I are ready to get in the game and do the hard work of building towards a brighter horizon. It won't be easy. It will require listening, learning, and thoughtful action. That's what I'm for, because I'm for you. I'm Jason Steffenhagen, and I'm running for New Brighton City Council.